All right, everybody. So today we are going to focus on this plant called LESpeDEza. So it is considered a weed in my zone 8A here, but until this year, I haven't really considered it a weed. And I believe this is the common LESpeDEza. It is an annual plant in my garden here. And I did not know that it was even a weed until I believe maybe a couple of years ago. You can see it has 3 leaves, and look at the veins. It's on both sides, and I think it's very beautiful. I think it's a beautiful plant. I know that in some places they may include this in pasture mixtures for animals to graze on, and there are different kinds, and some of them are even used for hay. But I also know that it may be considered an invasive plant in different parts of the world. In my zone here, I don't consider it necessarily a weed. I only consider this a weed because it is a wrong plant in a wrong place for me. I will show you later on a particular part of the space that I used to love having it there. But these right here, they are growing with my sedum right here, and I don't like that. I just want this area to be just my sedum there. And I did not realize that this has been growing here until recently when I was pulling some clumps here of the sedum that is to be moved to a different location, and I noticed is, as far as I know, it has a moderate growth rate. And when I research, it says it grows mostly by seed. So what I've been doing is just remove the flowers before they go to seed. But here's the interesting thing. So this is an annual weed in my garden here, an annual plant, which is good, which that means it only comes once, say, per season. You start seeing this in the spring, and it takes off in the summer because I believe it is considered a summer weed or summer plant here for me, summer annual. I am not sure about its root system, so we're gonna do this together. I think it has a tap root. And I know that they say that it spreads mostly by seed, but here's the thing. So every year or every winter it dies off and it comes back in the spring. So in the spring, it's like you get like new plants, like they're little plants, like all over. I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like little seedlings, like you have hundreds and hundreds of seedlings. Instead of, like this plant, like for example, it's not like this plant died back and next year you get that same plant. Next year it'll be a lot of little seedlings, and that's the part that is kind of scary. If it just comes back with just one plant like this by itself and then this plant by itself, I wouldn't mind it so much. But because of what I saw this spring, I was kind of terrified because I know that it's just going to spread more and more. So let's go ahead and see what the root system looks like. What I have been doing is just pulling it by hand, but let's see, since I'm doing this on camera, let's see if I could use my trowel. And it's been coming out very easily, and I usually pull it when it's a lot smaller than this. So let's see. As far as I know, the plants that I pulled did not come back. Whenever I'm pulling, say for this particular weed right here or particular plant, I want to make sure that this plant is not coming back. as much as I can possibly get it to not come back. I might miss it sometimes, especially if it has a taproot and I break it off, but I will try my best to make sure that any plant that I pull out or any weed that I pull out will not come back. I feel a lot of resistance. So, oh, I forgot that I have fabric liner underneath here too, so maybe it will come out easily. It does look like it has some kind of tap root right there. I'm glad that it does not have an underground rhizome. Yes, I do have fabric liner under here, and that's for a good reason. And I do not have fabric liner where this plant is, so it's just around this plant when it was small, the sedum that is. So it stops right, I don't know if you can see it, yeah. So the fabric liner stops right here. Let's see. If you would like for me to update this area for you to see if it does come back, please let me know in the comment section. Look at that. And I will definitely keep an eye in this area too to make sure that these don't come back. It seems like I'm breaking off some. Now, if it does come back, just keep at it early on, so that way the root system will get weaker and weaker over time. Look at that. Look at that taproot right there. And the reason I want to pull it from this area is because I don't want it to get matted up with the sedum here. And if it does, it will be a lot harder to pull out because it looks like I broke some of this. So I might, if it comes up again, I will get to it quicker. This one came out easily. All right, that came up easily. We got a good rain today. So that's why it came off a little bit easier. I have one more right here. You guys watching, you probably saw that. Sometimes when you're videotaping, you often can't see everything because your mind, you're thinking about other things or what to say. Okay, so that one came out easily. All right, I think that's it. So all of the plants have been removed over here, and I will be checking in this area on a regular basis to make sure that it is not coming back. And if it is, I will go ahead and pull it. And guess what? I see one right here that I missed. Oops, no, I didn't miss it. I already pulled that one out. So now we're gonna go to the location where I had it planted, or it was a volunteer, and where I liked it. All right, so this is on top of the hillside garden, and where the LESpeDEza used to grow was right here. It was so beautiful as a ground cover around here until we had our tree removal, and then all the soil just got shifted this way. So because of that, all the LESpeDEza plants were just moved over. So this spring they were growing all around the gravel area. They were growing all around this area where they were not before. They were just in that general area growing beautifully. So because of that, and like I mentioned, there were just so many seedlings, and I know that I couldn't control it, and it seemed like it was growing faster and faster, because if you don't do something to it, you would get a matted look of the plant all around. And it kind of it scared me, actually. So because of that, I was putting cardboard, just like I have it right there, all around here so I could smother it and kill it. So here's the thing too, because it's an annual weed, I don't know if I killed it completely. When I have the cardboard here, it would be as if, you know, they would go into dormancy. So it's a possibility they're in dormancy, but I did lay cardboard over this area, maybe except for where the close to the big rocks are. I did not. So all of the spaces around here got covered with the cardboard. So I'm hoping that they are not going to come back. And if one or two decides to come back, maybe I'll let it sit there. But I don't know. If you go down here, I just saw a spurge. I'll pull that out. Here is the LESpeDEza. I don't want it on the pathway here, so I'm gonna remove it. But yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to, so that I won't stress out over time or in the future, I'm just going to put a nice ground cover in this area and, you know, leave it at that. So where you live, do you consider LESpeDEza a weed? If you do, or if you don't, please let me know in the comment section down below. And if you do consider it a weed, how do you manage it well, so that way it could help other people that could be watching this video as well. With what I have done here, I just been hand pulling it. It hasn't gotten like out of control in my garden here. It is in my lawn area already. It has been here since we moved here, so it is here to stay. But I try to make sure that I remove it from all the beds except for this area that I just mentioned. But so that I'm not going to be stressed out about it in the future, I'm just going to consider this a weed in my garden and just pull it out altogether whenever I see it. And if you don't consider it a weed, and then you think that I'm not doing a good thing by pulling it out, just know that I have plenty in the lawn area. So I just don't want it in the flower beds that I have. Yeah, so with that, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it enjoyable and helpful. And until my next video, take care and bye for now.
It's me, the Mario. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe and ring the notification bell so that way you don't miss out on any more content.